Hey, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Okay, this is a video going out as an introductory for all newcomers that are coming into, I call it my world. My name's Brian. Thanks for partaking. One of the big things just happened a few hours ago. I just took over this new group on Meetup, Toronto Forex Traders. So this is what's initiating this video. Should have done this a while back, but just wanted to introduce myself to newcomers and the variety of social media that I have going on, and tell you about what we're going to try to do with this group and among other groups and where we're moving. Okay, so first off, obviously I'm now administering this group, the Toronto Forex group. In the next few months, I'll be putting out all my results for my new upcoming system that will focus on Forex. I run basically three groups. My primary focus when it comes to trading is, I won't call it quant finance because everyone and their dog's now a quant. I started this about 6 years ago. As you can see here, the end of January 2011. We're up to 1,300 people here. I took over this group here with the Toronto.net. And then this one just earlier today, which is now at 900. So originally I had another group that got closed down by Meetup because I put up too many virtual events, and that eventually got shut down. So this came about and I jumped on it within minutes of me seeing it. So that's where that is. So the idea with all these groups that I'm about to show you is to keep everything non-commercial, just have a networking, social gathering of people face-to-face in Toronto. Usually we've been doing it, as you can tell, for about 6 years now, and we've always had pretty well the same location at Milestones, the Empress Walk on Yonge and Sheppard area at Central, and blah blah blah. Okay, so with this group, we'll try to make it more social and more on actual trading, because these groups here, you can tell, are more about technology, but that's the direction everything's going in anyway. So that's my background, but I'm moving out of that space. I'm, as I said, moving more into charting for right now, starting out with a Forex, and I'll be putting up a bunch of videos actually with my broker that I'm choosing, which is Dukas Copy out of Switzerland. I'm hoping to do some webinars with them. I've been approved for one of their trading platform, TV platforms on Dukas Copy TV. So be on the lookout for that. And I know the Americans out there, we have lots of them, can't use Dukas Copy, but with the eventual repeal of the Dodd-Frank, they may step back into the US market. So there's some opportunity there if that does take place. Anyways, let's talk about who I am and what do I do. As I said, I've been running this site pretty well at the same time here since the end of 2011. I originally started out the Quant Finance Meetup group. Just that. It's evolved into many different things. We've grown. We've had our social meetup dinners monthly, excuse me, and we've pretty well stuck to it. We've had, as you can see here, over 200 meetups, so we're trying to make it active. Now, as I said, there's lots of ways to trade. Now automation's pretty well taking over and has taken over, and pretty well is the only way to trade. From my background, there's a variety of ways I go about trading. So I want to make this video not just about Forex, but where I have about 30,000 people. I have no idea how many people I have. I'm up to 1,000 people visiting my website at quantlabs.net. I'll show you that in a minute. And what I want to show you first is the social stuff. So first things first, you're probably going to see, I just want to put this out here. It's very cold here in Toronto where I'm at, -6. And boy, we just had really warm weather a few weeks ago. Anyways, let me show you some tips here that I do to learn about trading. And I've been doing this now for the last maybe year. What I do is, with the mobile stuff out there, the apps like on iOS or Android, Bloomberg is a great resource to learn about trading. I've tried to not push this on people, but have them as a starting point to learn about trading here. But you can see this is how the professionals trade. And with the professionals trading, you want to trade like them. Forget all the trading gurus. Forget about all these other, whatever you want to call them, with books and blogs and whatever. I follow them. They're useful, but you're going to get, at best, mediocre results. If you want to get the big money, you got to trade like the professionals, like the institutional guys. And this is how I've gone about it. Now, there is an iOS app and as well a Google app for this. So what I do, if you can, go through the major areas, currency, stocks, markets, and all the different areas on that app, in the news app, and really consume it daily. I consume the Bloomberg TV every day. Let me just show you, let's say the Apple App Store, Bloomberg. Now, this app was changed a few months ago. As you can see, it's got a really bad rating, which it kind of deserves. It does crash a lot, but they are trying to clean it up. And right now, I think it's going to improve maybe, hopefully. But I put up with it because I'm after the data and the news. You'll learn everything, understand about patterns, and really what you're after. What I've learned from learning from it, there's all kinds of trading signals that come out of it pretty well every day. Markets open up. I'm East Coast Standard Time, and that's the same time as New York. What you'll find is, let's say today's Sunday, markets will open up in Asia, Australia, Japan, Hong Kong, China, and then eventually India. All these big markets will open up on Sunday night, and then it moves into Europe, Mideast, and then eventually New York, 9 a.m., 9:30 in the morning next day. So it's a 24-hour cycle. And the powerful thing that I've learned from it is there's a lot of patterns you can learn as you consume it daily, and you see these patterns, you see the news events. And when you see those news events, those are the optimal positions that you want to take on in terms of opportunity, because those headline news events, if you forecast them right, you're going to do very well. And they're usually in commodities, currencies, and not stocks themselves, but stock indices. Okay, so if you understand those patterns, you'll do really well, and you'll really understand how hot money flows from one market to another as a safe haven or as an opportunity, and So I just wanted to put that out there. All right, so let's talk about my social media. As I said, I focused a lot on automation, primarily programming. I've got YouTube. I've got my Facebook programming group. I have my Instagram, but then I have my site, which is called quantlabs.net. Now, let me just show you the social media stuff. So YouTube, this is it. So if you just come here to youtube.com/quantlabs, what you'll find are about 1,400 plus videos. And this can easily overwhelm you. I understand that. So over the last few years, I've created playlists. So if you're ever interested in technology and just specific types of technology for trading, I have it segregated out via these playlists. So as I said, we have the Dukas copy. One day I'll start moving into iOS, building mobile apps. So I have an Apple Tech section. I have one on my database that I like, and on it goes. Okay, so you can go there. Obviously, everything's free. The big, powerful group that I take a lot of pride in now is this group here on my programming. It's got nearly just pushing 10,000 members, and it's fairly active, and lots of engagement's pretty good. We've got other people posting stuff. I would highly encourage you to learn from this, engage with it, consume it. If you got questions, please post your queries here, because that's why this group exists. And I have a Twitter channel and a LinkedIn group, but there's not a lot of engagement, so why would I give it to you? I'd rather just have you engage with where their engagement's at, where everybody's at. So you just come on in, and we'll approve you. Just a simple kind of set of rules here. There is the borderline of commercial product is really tricky. We've got a lot of people pushing chat rooms and stuff. That is not tolerated because they're usually spammy, as I call it. So we don't push that. But if you have an analysis or a chart or something on trading, whatever it is, by all means, do post it, and people will consume it, and as I said, will engage with it. And that's the whole point of this group. So as I said, we have the my YouTube channel, which is about 1,400 videos. Just about to give you an idea, just more recent videos. I posted this video here, as I talked about earlier about Bloomberg. This video actually my iPhone made, and at the end there's some photos of one of the recent meetups that we've had in Toronto, and it just gives you an idea of what I do, and you'll see me just ramble on, going over these video charts and just learning from them. And it's kind of like doing something every day. If you're going to go out and eat, you're going to do that. If you're going to go out and exercise, you do that. But if you're going to trade, my daily routine now is to learn and consume as much Bloomberg stuff as I can, because that has been my number one source of just learning stuff outside of what the gurus tell you, because my trust for a lot of gurus is waning. And not only that, I find they're just too expensive. Okay, so lately I've been posting a lot of stuff on Instagram. Now you can see here I've got over 10,000 videos. And as I said earlier, these are the video charts that I would mention that are from Bloomberg. And I do this 20, 30, 40, 50 a day. I'm not expecting you to go through them every day. I do it for myself because it just reinforces trends that I'm seeing in the economies globally and opportunities that are out there. And I pick up a lot of information from this. This is like my most valuable way to learn about trading. And not only just trading, but where to trade, the patterns to look for, and so on and so forth. I've learned so much from this, and I'm going to keep doing it. All right. So we've covered YouTube, we've covered Instagram, I've talked about our meetup. Okay, a lot of people ask me what I do. So, as I said, I run this website called quantlabs.net. Now, the timing's kind of perfect for me to be taking over this new group, the FX one, the Forex. And this is what I do. Basically, if you're interested to understand about automation, last fall, I wrote 2 books. This video, start talking to myself.
Hey there, Brian.
There, there we go. Okay, and basically there's 2 books that I give, and they're free. They're PDFs. And basically what they are is just going to step you through the process for understanding algorithmic trading, and also things that you need to be aware of when it comes to trading. Specifically, if you're a Forex trader, a lot of people are not aware, but a lot of brokers do screw you. Maybe you probably already know that FXCM is the classic example where they actually got banned from operating in the US because they were screwing over their clients, and that's the classic example. And more brokers are trying to do that, and they go offshore, and I think a lot of them are actually getting desperate. Also, there's a lot of misconceptions specifically for retail traders that are probably getting at best mediocre, minimal returns. I get a lot of these every day, these queries. And here, there's an industry secret that traders know about. There's the smart money and the dumb money. And unfortunately for retail traders that use technical analysis and do all their, in the world of Forex as an example, using MetaTrader and TradeStation and Ninja and all these platforms, they're kind of trading blindingly. And there's this rule here about Club 90-90 in that trap. You don't want to be caught up in that trap. And basically it says that 90% of traders will lose 90% of their money within 90 days. So I'm not sure if you would fall into that. And there's a lot of reasons why that happens. And a lot of it can come from how your broker will screw you. Okay? And that is something I want as many people to understand that. The other thing is that there's different ways to learn how to consistently profit using automation, and I think that's obviously really important. Now, the first book that I talked about is the Trade Like a Boss book, but there's a second book that I've got, and that one's more technical, but depending upon your drive, and that's really what's going to get you across what you can call the finish line to be really successful and consistently profitable, is I've got two tools that I recommend. I didn't write them, but they're free. Actually, the second one's paid, but it's very affordable. The first one is an open source stock screener. Now, stock screening is amazing. If you are a developer and you have the ability to use this software, which is in Java, this thing can do amazing things. It will track something like 26 countries globally, and you can set up technical indicators and just use it as a stock screener and have it send out alerts. And because it's in Java, it doesn't matter what operating system you're on. The other one that's really important is another screener built around Excel. Where's my, okay, this one here. This one's another screener which is very powerful. So not a lot of people may be as strong in software development, but this one's really good if you want to use Excel to build out a screener that will connect into my chosen, I love these guys, IKFeed, the data source that will really open your knowledge and breadth of how to view the markets in a very affordable way. Build out trading history or historical data, all kinds of things. This is a good resource to understand that using Excel, this add-in. But because I try to be a nice guy, these books will, actually there are videos and there's tutorials of the videos, and they'll walk you through both software tools. This tool is called jstock.org, and this one is called XLQ, the letters XLQ. So the second book will cover that, and I just wanted to let you know about that. Now the other thing is I've been focusing a lot on technology. There's so many people out there with their trading systems and blah, 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 blah. I'm out of that. I'm no longer part of that, but I do feel that you have to have your own software that you own, and your broker won't have access to it, and you control it. You own it, and you own it. That means that you control your future with it, and nobody else will be able to leech off that or sneak in and take out your intellectual property if you've got some really valuable trading ideas. And I will tell you, there are a lot of companies that will do that, and I'm not going to say who or what, but there's just a lot of unscrupulous stuff going on out there. If you can find a way to own the source code, understand the source code, implement it, you're way ahead of the game. Okay, so that is generally the philosophy I come from. And let me just take you to, I'm not going to push this stuff on you. If you're a newbie, retail trader, blah, 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 I've got 4 things I'm going to tell you, okay? First, this is just highlights, okay? I'm not going to push this on you, but if you're ever interested, I've got 3 courses. The first one, if you're ever new to programming and want to learn from the ground up, I tell people the best language to learn, and I've looked at them all, Python's the easiest one. I mean, they've got books out there designed. Apple's got apps out, actually, that will show you how to develop, for 9-year-olds, how to start programming with Python. So it's that easy. So this course will walk you through all the trading components that you'll need for an automated trading system. This one, with interactive brokers, is pretty well the most popular broker out there that algorithmic traders, systematic traders use as a broker. It's global. And it's universal assets, and it's quite a good broker for that. And they support the languages of C++, Java, and Python. And of course, everything I provide, source code walkthroughs. And then the final course here, which is probably the most critical of them all. People don't know this. I don't know why. This one I find is the most useful. You got to remember, there was once upon a time the markets in Chicago and New York that operated for over 100 years, and they operated a certain way. Then in the 70s came electronic trading, and then things got faster and faster in the 80s and 90s, and here we are where we're at. So You always got to remember there's always the fundamentals in the markets. I look at all analysis types: technical, a quant, and then fundamental. But as a trader, from a human perspective, you really want to understand the fundamentals. And I'm not talking about looking at stock annual reports for some company. What I'm talking about is more economic based, econometrics, supply and demand of a commodity, understanding how that will impact an entire industry, which another set of industries are dependent on. And that obviously impacts stock prices, that impacts guidance that companies put out. And the root of it all is driven by commodities, metals, financial pricing instruments, agriculture not so much, but historically yes. But there's still opportunities there. And you look at both options and futures in these asset classes, very powerful to understand. And once you understand how to really, I will say with confidence, you can really understand the pricing action, what drives those prices. And a lot of it's due to either news, what's going on in the economy, and what's going on in a particular industry. So there's a number of factors that will drive those prices. When you know how to understand those prices, you understand those fundamentals, and again, it's fundamental. That's the key. You can then go ahead and you can start forecasting what's happening in the economy. What's happening with this price? Where will this option play out? And when you do that, you are way ahead. Now, I've got guys in my community. As I said, I have no idea how many I'm up to, probably 20, 30,000 people. And there's a small subset of people out there that are very, very successful traders. And I'm very fortunate to have access to them. And what they've done for me is I've learned from them. We talk quite a bit on the right ways to trade profitably and consistently. And again, with automation. Now, where's my... okay. Where was I? Oh, right here. Okay, so that's the third course. If you want to learn about options and futures. I will say the most lucrative asset class, if you know how to do it, and you really can't do it, the only way you can do it is with automation, is options. I've got guys that can do 4 or 5 time returns on their positions consistently, based upon knowing how to properly forecast the market direction on those picks or positions I put on. And the last service I have is my analytics service, is the direction I'm going in the near future. And basically what that is just really pumping out charts and reports on where I think, or not me, but where the system's going to go. And that's built around all of these concepts that I've talked about. And I'm building an entire private community around that. So obviously these are all priced products. That's how I live, basically. And this one will be pretty cool because there's going to be a community built around it. I've got a chat room and all that. But if you're ever interested in any of this stuff, obviously just come to my page here, pick off a product, and then I've got more detail when you go through the view course options. Okay, so that's what I do in a nutshell. So coming back to this, these are pretty important. What I'm planning to do soon, I don't know when, is Monday nights is the best nights that we do these, because everyone's probably most likely got nothing going on Monday nights, and we've done surveys for years, and Monday night seems to be the best for a lot of people. What I'm going to be doing is doing two events. One at 6 or 7 for a weekly TV show that will talk about trading charts for the week or whatever, and then there's going to be a private one for my members of this product here at probably 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do virtually through my traditional webinar stuff or whatever, but I'm planning to do that. Okay, so that's pretty well in a nutshell who I am, Brian, yay, and all the channels. If you ever want to follow me on my blog, I've got a lot of stuff. I post a lot. I consider myself to be a serial blogger. And if you want to get those books, all you gotta do is just join here, free reports on how to trade like a boss, so and so forth. And that will be instantly dispatched to you, the 2 PDFs. And after that, if you're into what I'm offering, I put up my thoughts probably every day. I'm not sure, I'll probably slow that down in coming weeks. And I don't release anybody's information to anybody, so you can sign up with confidence. And that's pretty well it. Hopefully you enjoyed today's little video. If you have any questions, come over to probably the group's the best way to reach me at Facebook, and I'll put up all the links and stuff on my blog post about all of this fun stuff. All right, so other than that, hopefully I will see you somewhere online or in person, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.